Hello, and welcome to the Roost.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Welcome, brother.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm Cisco.
I'm Johnny.
Hey, and we're doing our weekly podcast called The Roost, located in St. George, Utah, where it's like 105 degrees.
Today's cooler than it was yesterday.
Yeah, it is very ridiculous here. It's crazy.
Yeah, the heat is super intense, and it's like apocalyptic because we still have that fire burning that's been burning for over a week now up on our local mountain, Pine Valley.
Yeah, on the north side.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it at like 50% contained now, I believe.
Oh, good.
Maybe a little more.
Good.
But that was, I think yesterday, day before, I saw that it was like 47%. So I'd assume they've gotten a little better than what that was. But
Good.
yeah. But just woke up from a nap, to be honest.
Good morning. I wish we had something for energy right now.
Well, today we're gonna try something a little different than coffee and
Ooh.
energy drinks. We're gonna try smelling salts.
Oh, God.
You ever tried smelling salts?
I've never tried them.
So I guess weightlifters and some athletes use these to give you a little how you doing? A little wake-up call, a little woohoo. It says on the back of it, says, keep out of the reach of children and pets, avoid contact with eyes and mouth, and do not ingest or apply directly to skin. So I guess snorting it, smoking it, and shooting it up just won't work with this.
Have you tried it?
I've never tried it. Have you?
No.
You just said you didn't, right?
No.
So it says that it gives us energy, clarity, focus, and strength.
I can use all of those.
All right. This is by 90's. It looks like it has a freaking like lizard on it. And
Show the
it's
camera.
30 grams. Let's see if you can see that.
30 grams?
30 grams. So got this on Amazon. Believe I got it because it's the same one that Joe Rogan did on his podcast
Oh, really?
with Dale Vaughn, but not 100. So
Me first? Yo, what do we...
hey, I'm definitely not gonna try it first. What's that? Just a little cap?
Nothing.
Gotta take off the little protective sleeve.
You got your knife on you?
I do.
Milwaukee. Not sponsored by 90's.
90's. I'm all trying to smell it from over here.
Let me put the knife down before I do this here. Hogs, get away from that.
I think I can kind of smell it.
Why is that on
I
there?
don't know. Pop it out.
Okay, well, here we go. Let me give it a good old... Ew, I got some on me.
Get out of here, Moggs. Moggs is going to want to smell it. It says not for animals.
Oh, shit! Oh, 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 ah. Yo.
You look like you enjoyed that a little too much.
Woo!
Your eyes are a little red.
Yo, make sure you get both nostrils, man. I just hit it straight up the right one, dude. Whoa.
Okay. Here. Oh, man.
Don't be scared.
Okay.
Be terrified, right?
Oh. Oh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Give it a second.
Oh,
my
wow.
God, right? Yeah.
Why do they call that salt?
Because it's a nitrate of some sort. Or a sulfate.
Gosh.
I don't know.
Holy cow, that made my heart beat faster.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude. I'm all clear, dude.
Oh my gosh. What is that? How is that not like bad for you?
Just take a big old whiff of it, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, yo.
Oh my
It made
gosh.
my one eye water so
That's what
bad.
it did to me.
Yeah.
One eye is watering more than the other, and I don't know why.
It reminds me of when I took methadone straight up the nose hole.
Oh my goodness.
It burns, is what I'm saying, baby. It burns.
Oh wow.
Woo. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Sniff at a distance. I guess we should have read more about the how to do this. Screw off the cap, then carefully remove the seal. Sniff at a distance, at least 6 inches for the nose.
Oh man, I put it right on the old nose hole, dude.
Rescrew the lid as soon as you're done using it. Do not use if you have a heart or respiratory condition. Oh man, probably should have read that before we did that.
Oh,
Wow.
What's the fun in that, dude?
All right, now that I know what it's like, let's try it again.
Oh my god. Do it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, yep, not any better. Holy crap.
6 inches.
Oh man.
Hey, how big is 6 inches?
Why are all these cats all of a sudden coming around?
Tuna scented.
It is not tuna scented. That is not good tuna.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Okay. Keep this away from the addicts. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is something else. I did not expect that, and I'm trying to think about what it's actually like because I've smelled something like that before.
It reminds me of like a pool.
Maybe a really isolated dose of like the chlorine or something like that.
Yeah, like like on a hot summer day when you got the hot tub cooking.
Yeah.
And then you peel that lid off and all those fumes just come out of there. It's similar to that, but
gosh.
times like 100.
Why do I feel like I aged? I mean, like, what is that? Holy cow! So let's what's?
Why are the cats all completely? They're gonna fuck up our cameras.
I don't know, but they better not.
Here they go.
Hey,
they're starting. It's already beginning. Here.
Yeah, anyways,
let me get rid of the.
No, just let them go.
Okay.
It says smelling salts may also simply be dilute ammonia dissolved in a mixture of water and ethanol. And most forms of I don't know if I'm reading right because I'm still in this weird headspace from smelling that.
You're supposed to be mega focused.
Available
right now.
on the internet. Well, maybe it's coming out mega focus and mega right, but in my head this isn't making sense. So available on the internet are the latter type of mixtures. These mixtures should be more correctly termed as aromatic spirits of ammonia. So yeah, it's like ammonia. And that does seem like more of what it is, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like super, like if you were to walk into a house that had like 1,000 cats living in it and they never cleaned up anything. That's about what it is in a complete isolated hit.
Yeah, but mint flavored. Mint flavored cat urine.
You think it was minty?
It says right on it.
It does?
Yeah, it says right down here. Antis pre-smelling salts. Melling salt mint formula.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any
definitely got
aroma of
mint.
Mint.
It's got like a mentholatum, like that.
So, are smelling salts healthy? It says smelling salts, while generally safe when used properly for brief periods, are not considered healthy. Oh well, and can have some risks. They primarily contain ammonia, which can cause irritation to the eyes, nose, and throat, and lead to coughing, airway constriction, and other adverse effects like headaches or difficulty breathing.
What? What are the benefits of this?
Why do athletes? Let's see. Why do athletes do that? Athletes use smelling salts, which release ammonia gas, to stimulate alertness and focus before or during competition. The ammonia irritates the nasal passages and lungs, triggering a reflex that increases breathing and heart rate. Yeah, my heart did. It definitely jumped. potentially leading to a temporary boost in energy and focus. While some athletes believe it enhances performance, scientific evidence supporting this is limited. So it doesn't make you stronger or anything like that, but it probably, in a similar way, brings you to a straight alertness to now, just like ice baths.
Sure.
You know,
Bring you to the present moment
yeah,
because your brain thinks that your nose is on fire, dude.
yeah,
It says right on the package, man. It has that little arm, like strength,
makes you strong.
and it has lightning on it. Like
So we can shoot lightning.
throw lightning bolts now.
Must be. Well, I'll have to try that later. But yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yo, what a good way to start the podcast, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I just that definitely woke me up. Definitely wasn't what I expected, and like I expected super high concentrate salt smell, but
Really?
yeah, I mean smelling salts. I just never thought about it. I guess
I that was exactly what I pictured,
exactly,
honestly.
huh?
Well, it felt like I got punched in the face by Casper's dick, bro. It was very in I don't know.
That
And
doesn't make much sense because isn't Casper a ghost?
that's what I'm saying. Vapors.
I don't think you feel anything from Casper's member.
I bet you could I bet his piece smells.
What the fuck? Anyways, I don't want to find that out. I don't want Casper like night throated me one night.
Don't worry, man. I'll sage the house tonight, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Don't trip, dude.
Casper, stay out of here.
Stay out of my
You're
nose
not
hole.
welcome. Oh my gosh. If that's what it smells like, definitely do not come around. Anyways,
Yeah. How was your week?
week was good. It was super busy again, but good. Just been working a lot and trying to get ready for me and Kendall are taking a trip to Florida at
Oh,
the end of the
Florida.
month. So just trying to get everything going for that.
Ooh, shout out to my guys, Ninjas or Butterflies, dude.
Yeah.
They're from Florida. They
Oh,
live
yeah.
down there. They're doing their Florida Torrida, I
Oh,
guess.
really?
Yeah, they're touring all of Florida. I love their podcast, man.
Where are they
They're
from?
Florida.
Oh, so they're just touring the locals, saying what's up.
Yeah, they got, I guess I don't know, podcasts get ranked by viewers and they're like in the top 10 podcasts.
Okay.
I read that somewhere I think this last week and I was like that's really cool cuz I just like the whole vibe those guys give off, man. They're like and I'm not trying to get like political or like religious here, but like yo, they're good God-fearing men who talk about real issues and I love it because they're so down to earth like a lot of the topics that they talk about, they're not sure themselves.
Yeah.
They're sourcing it from the same places that we are, but the way that they present it is super dope. And they got this dude named Andrew that's he's like Hawaiian and he like plays music. Like he's always like playing the guitar for them. They always got like musical bits that they do like at the beginning of every podcast and stuff. I just love them. They're great,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
they're
watch them a lot.
highly entertaining and yeah, I just want to give them a shout out. If you're in Florida, go say what up to them. Go get
Yeah.
one of their t-shirts. They always start out by saying this podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool, which is their t-shirt shop and whatnot. So
Nice. Well, heck yeah. Yeah, when we're in Florida, we plan to go to this. We're gonna be staying on South Beach, and
pretend I'm brand new and I don't know what South Beach is. Where's that?
South Beach, Florida, south of Florida.
Where, like by Key Largo? By
Sure.
oh, all right.
But it's the southern part of I guess the beaches in Florida, so
Cool.
that's why it's called South Beach. We'll be going up there, but we'll also be a couple things we want to do is we want to visit this island called Raccoon Island. It's actually more towards the north side, up the coast, and then we ferry out to I believe we ferry out to Raccoon Island, and you can kind of kayak around the island, and there's a bunch of raccoons that are on there that you can just kind of feed and hang out with.
What?
But I think they have other animals out there also. But it's something that we're kind of looking forward to. Another thing that we're thinking, we're going to try to hit a meeting down there
Oh, good.
in Florida and just kind of check it out. Yeah, we went to the spiritual meeting again this week, and it was really good. So had a lot of good shares. It really brought me back to, I'm going on 6 years with my sobriety, and I just there was a lot of there's quite a few people in there that were getting their 30-day, and they're 24 hours, and there's a guy in there who even said that he had 3 days.
Cool.
But there was some really good shares in there. This one lady talked about, um, you know, how she, in her alcoholism, she would hide just to hide from her kids or from her family. The alcohol, she'd like hide it in like the washer and dryer, like 6 packs of beer and things like that. And so it really makes you think like a normal person wouldn't do that.
Right.
Normal people don't do that. But I started thinking about my addiction back then and how I would, because sometimes you get going and you kind of rest on your laurels. You get complacent with your life, and you start thinking like, well, I'm doing really good. I'm cured even. Some people think I'm not out. Maybe I'm not alcoholic no more, because life seems to be going, and I'm not drinking, and I don't really have any need for AA or for recovery program or any kind of programming. I can just live like a normal person,
Sure.
But and you start believing that you can just be around alcohol, do things like you used to do before you were an alcoholic or before you were in that, and be fine. But then you start thinking about, at least hearing those people share stories like that, it started making me think like, why do I come back here when I don't think about drinking. I don't go to bars. I don't, get stressed out, and that's not my go-to or anything like that. But then hearing their stories, and so in a small sense, it does kind of not really cross my mind, but maybe in a deep down way. I think that, I don't need as many meetings, or I don't need to do this or do that like what I used to. But then I start thinking about like how I was when I was an alcoholic. And one thing, like I do remember hiding bottles. I remember hiding them in the kitchen or wherever just before I was going to get blacked out drunk or drink that last glass of Jack or something. I remember thinking, oh, I got a half bottle of this. I got to get rid of this. But I don't want to get rid of it because it's my precious,
Yeah.
Just thinking, well, I'm going to hide it. If I hide it and I go into a blackout, I'm not going to remember where it's at. So I end up hiding it. And I was pretty good at hiding it. Like I was, because I would never find it, and I never remember that I did hide it, which is crazy, until I'm sober, or being sober, or it's like a sober day, and I'm cleaning the house or doing what what a normal person would do instead of drinking. And I'm actually doing it, and then I find this freaking bottle inside the cupboards, and I'm like, it's, for an alcoholic like me, it's exciting.
Sure.
You find this bottle, even though that day was probably a horrible night or a day or whatever the case may be, you're thinking like, oh my gosh. It's like, ooh, it's like finding like $1,000 that you didn't know you had. And then you're just excited. You're just thinking like, oh my gosh, I am gonna drink this,
Yeah.
And so it was always one of those things where like I didn't ever plan on finding it again in like a way at that moment, I don't think. But whenever I did, I just remember how excited I was to find it. And it's crazy because, normal people don't think like that. Normal people wouldn't try to hide their bottles from themselves or from others.
No, they have it in the liquor cabinet, or
Yeah.
where it goes in
Where
its
it
place.
goes. Yeah, just like in its place and everything like that. But anyways, those type of shares really made me start thinking about my life before, and just how grateful I am that I can come to these meetings. They're free to everybody, and I can sit there and hear other people's stories, their strength and hope,
Sure.
and just just remember, where I came from and how sick I really was. I might not be that sick anymore, but it's still, I know for a fact that it's still something that I am, you know?
Yeah. You have an ism,
Yeah.
alcoholism, not alcoholism.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing, right? And it's we have a daily reprieve contingent on our spiritual maintenance,
Yeah.
right? And that's um, very similar. Um, Life was crazy towards the end of my drinking and using, and yeah, I hid lots of things. Especially when you're packing around felonies, you gotta hide that. You don't want that to get found, and the local law enforcement, God bless them, they knew exactly who I was, and I was an easy charge, right? They know that if they stop me, if they can catch me, then they will find something on me. They just need to uh, search me well enough, and they'll find something on me. So I had to get creative also with hiding stuff. But you know, uh, the pain of that lifestyle of staying the same outweighed the pain of change, of actually doing something,
Yeah.
right? And thank God, I knew where to go to get help, and as soon as I did that, you know, I learned a new way of life, and I started doing things differently,
Mm-hmm.
right? You start to, you clean house, and you trust God, and you go about serving other people, and in the process of doing that, your life gets extremely better. It's like day and night difference, and then when that happens, people start to trust you again. People start to uh, see the progress you're making, and you start attracting a different crowd of people, and in doing so, um, you know, a lot of things, you overcome a lot of obstacles that you never would have when you're drinking or using. Simple things like me getting my license for the first time in my life at 43 years old. That was a big deal,
Yeah.
you know. And but 16-year-olds are doing that on a daily basis. But I had a problem adulting, and so there's a lot of things that come along with that. Balancing a checkbook, or reconnecting with my kids, or mending relationships that were broken, and then before you know it, you're on a winning streak,
Yeah.
and it's really easy to you know to pull back on the throttle and just say, oh, my life is infinitely better than what it was when I was homeless and living under the bridge. Like, it's so much better. Why do I? And, my addiction, my disease, it tells me often that maybe I made too big of a deal about it,
Yeah.
and um, I was just speaking with my spiritual advisor today, and he told me, um, that's part of the reason why I go to the places that I go. I really enjoy hearing the newcomer tell me that life is just as terrible out there as it always has been.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed out there. If anything,
No.
it's gotten worse. There's worse substances that have hit the streets. There's new ways of scamming people, and ways of uh, the means of acquiring more. And um, gosh, man, all of that whole lifestyle is just so unappealing to me now. I remember, like, I was in treatment, and I would have to go because I was court ordered. And I remember, like, packing clean urine. Or
Yeah.
do you remember when our cousin did the oil change in the house? An oil change, for those who don't know, is when you get rid of all of, you piss out whatever you have in your bladder, and then you put clean urine in like a turkey baster
Oh
or a
yeah,
big,
I do
and
remember
you
that.
give yourself a catheter and you just,
Push that stuff in there.
yo, that's the lengths that we would go to protect our disease.
Weren't you telling me once about a drug test where you had one of them?
A Wizinator. Yo, I'll tell this story. Um, I I wasn't court ordered to do anything, but I my at the time, the mother of my children, she was in family drug court, and she was having to test all the time, and DCFS, they knew I was using, but they could never catch me, and I didn't have an open DCFS case, so um, I had to, they wanted to open a case, but they didn't have enough evidence to do it. So whenever I would go in for court for like reunification and stuff like that, um, they would try to get me to UA, and I'd be like, sure, I will, but I got work or whatever. I'd come up with excuses. And one time, I finally said, yes, I'll be there on this day, because it was so far down the road. I'm like, yo, that's plenty of time to get everything out of my system and yada yada. Um, so the day comes, and it's like, a month out. So I'm like, I got plenty of time, right? Well, as I'm doing my thing, time slips by like it does, and I lost track of time. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you got a UA tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out. Like I've got everything in my system, everything. And I go to the smoke shop, and I'm looking at, the flushes and the drinks and stuff like that. And I'm like, none of these are going to work. They all say that. I know that they won't work. Not for everything I have in my system. And they're like, well, check out this new product. I'm like, what is that? And they're like fake looking members, right? And you can like even match your own skin tone. So I'm like shopping around. It looks like I'm getting sex toys. But I found one that is, off white native, and
Off-white native. Is that a color that like freaking
had to have been the color of
they
it.
carry at Ulta?
And they had a little thing of synthetic urine that comes with it. But I'm like, yo, no, they're testing. They'll be able to test to see if it's synthetic. I need the real deal. So I get someone that's clean to pee in a bottle. And how the whole thing worked was, it's got a belt on it that goes around, and a little bladder that sits right on the old chode piece to keep it warm.
It taint the balls and it taint the booty hole.
And it's got a little valve on the side of the thing that you just kind of discreetly turn, and it just flows out of there. And I didn't have a chance to test it or do any of this kind of stuff. And so anyway, I show up to UA, and I have to UA with all the drug court people. And in Washington County at the time, there was at least 50 people in line, right? But because I'm not like court ordered the same, I'm volunteer, they let me go to the front of the line. But my heart's like jacked.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I go in there, and the drug court tracker that they had just got done with his like third tour of Afghanistan. Complete militant, like, I got the vibe that he did not like or respect drug addicts at all. He was looking for reasons to bust people. So anyway, he lets me cut to the front of the line. I don't know the procedure. I did drug court way back in 2001. They just handed you the cup, pee in the cup. I thought it was going to be boom, boom, bada bing, in and out. No, I pull this thing out. I grab the cup, and he's like, no, lift your shirt up. And I'm like, what? And he's like, lift your shirt up. So I lift my shirt up, and you could see the top of the belt poking out through my underwear line. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, what's what? And he's like, take your pants all the way down. Well, I'd already started the thing, and he's
can't stop it when it's already started. It stings, right?
Yeah. So he's like, put your hands up. So I put my hands up.
Oh, shit.
The thing's just going, right? And he like pulls my pants down a little further, and he thought that I had a bomb strapped to me. He thought it was an improvised explosive device.
Oh, wow.
So he draws his gun and he puts it in the back of my neck, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, get down on your knees. And I'm like, what the crap?
It's still just
a big old puddle of one of my friend's urine, and he's making me kneel down in it. And then he's like, lay down, put your hands. And I got my face in the pee, and I'm like, no. He cuffs me up, and he takes me to jail. And I have to sit in jail overnight. And the next day, they call my name for court, transport me over to the courthouse, and the drug court judge was out of town that week, and it was this decrepit old judge. I'm not going to say his name, but if you're from southern Utah, this particular judge was from Cedar City, and he was just filling in, and he was 10 years past retirement already.
Yeah.
Right. And so he's old as crap. He has no idea what's going on. And he's reading out loud the incident. And he's like, well, it says here that you were caught with a prosthetic penis. What? And there was a malfunction with it while you were UAing? Son, were you in an accident? And I was like, withdrawing hella hard from opiates. And I was like, foggy headed and talking a million miles an hour. And I was just like, no, you see, I got this Wizinator from the smoke shop, and I filled it with fake pee. And when he had me put my hands up, I couldn't stop, and it just kept going. And, he made me kneel down in it. And, it was a Wizinator, man. And he's like, so it was a prosthetic? And I was like, yeah, man, it was a prosthetic, dude. I was in a terrible accident. And he's like, this poor young man, like, release him. And so, I got out the next day, but
yeah,
not without incident.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. So, how was your week?
Man, much better this week than it was that week, for sure. Dude, great. Love it. Dude, I absolutely love my new job. Upper Mesa Recovery, gang baby, super dope. My colleagues and coworkers they're amazing people. All of them, they're all great inspiration for what life can be, people to be admired, and I have history with almost everybody that I work with. Our very first client happens to be one of my very best friends, and just to see the change that's going on, and to see the level of willingness, that makes a huge difference, so now we have 4 clients, getting more almost daily. It seems like we're getting at least a new client every day, which, I'm sure doesn't sound like a lot, but starting at the ground level, it's huge. It's amazing. And went out to the 4th of July festivities that they have in Hilldale, and it was awesome, man.
Yeah.
There was I've always had like a preconceived notion of what Hilldale and Colorado City was, but contempt prior to investigation.
Yeah.
I'd never really investigated it on my own, and I had very limited experience with the town itself. And so I go out there expecting everybody to, be dressed like FLDS and their, long sleeves and, plaid everything, and women in all their long dresses and stuff like that. There wasn't a lot of that I seen out there. Everybody's got, it's a really tight knit community.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And cool fireworks display, but more importantly, when I showed up there was a lady playing the piano up on like a makeshift stage, and the house that they were at, they gave the dude, they call him like Uncle Al or something like that, Grandpa Al or Alvin or something.
Yeah.
And he allowed them to use his property and his trailer to host their annual 4th of July thing. And she's up there playing the piano, singing, and she had like a little 3-piece band with her, and she's just doing covers, pop songs and stuff, which was really cool, songs that we all knew. And there was like, picturesque, like the homecoming queen and king. It seems like they were out there like swing dancing and like just cutting a rug out there, getting it. And then as soon as the song ends, she played like just a radio edit version of some country song.
Okay.
And everybody cleared the dance area, and like literally from, young teenager all the way to, adults start filing out there. And this country song's playing, and everybody just lines up. Not a word was spoken, mind you.
Huh.
No one said anything. They just lined up.
You ready for them to like drink the Kool-Aid or something?
I don't know, maybe. But they started just line dancing, bro.
Okay. Cool.
And I was like, dude, rad. Like no communication. They all just knew.
Yeah.
This country song dictates that we
It's like the old Boot Scootin' Boogie.
They did that one.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did that one. That was like their second line dance song that they did. But just to see how comfortable the whole community was with each other and how supportive they all are. People were clapping and cheering for, when someone would get the dance moves right, or when, a certain couple got out there. They all know each other by first name, and I got this overwhelming urge to like want to spend more time out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if my life looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's simple. We were talking to one of our mutual friends in the rooms that lives out there in Hilldale. He came to the meeting today.
Cool.
And he was talking about, Kendall asked him, what do you pay for rent out there? And I think for a 2-bedroom, it pays like $900 a month.
Yeah.
That like perked Kendall's thing. She talked to me today about like, I want to go see Hilldale. Like she's interested now. And I'm like, well, it is cheaper. It's out there a little ways, it's about 40 minutes away from here. And, there is a commute, but there really isn't much else out there besides to live, I guess, as in like a go home, there's not much else than that. You come into town for most things, but it is a nice little spot. You got Apple Valley too. That's just down the road. That's
Kanab.
That's really nice.
Kanab's really close to there.
A little up the road.
It's like on the western side of the greater Zion area. And so you have like a geographical masterpiece laid out before you. I mean, just these beautiful scenery. Again, the world's best water.
Yeah.
Where they allow you to go up there and fill up your 5-gallon water tanks and stuff for free. And literally everybody there has, big pieces of property. Everybody's got like fruit trees or nut trees on their property. It's not uncommon to see someone riding a horse down the road. Not all their roads are paved even.
Yeah.
Everybody who's under the age of 16 seems like they have dirt bikes. I mean, I'm sure if they're older, they have dirt bikes too, but you see, 10, 11, 12-year-olds out there riding dirt bikes everywhere. Yeah. And, I lost Bella. Bella's our French bulldog. I took her out to work with me, and she was outside. Fireworks were going off. Scared her. She ran. She's an idiot. She went straight to the first friendly people and followed them home. And they took her inside and fed her really good. And I was on the clock. I couldn't just go look for my dog.
Yeah.
Really scared. Go out on your name. She obviously was there or something. Instantly, people had put the word out there, and I came home all the way back to St. George. Went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, I had been notified by multiple people that this nice couple had found her. They'd posted stuff online about anybody missing a dog. Just really excited about how close of a community that is.
Yeah. How far away from where she ran did they find her?
1 block.
1 block. That's about.
She was 1 block away. I'm surprised she survived that long, honestly. But
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but just the beauty of the landscape alone is enough to draw people out there. But then when you compound that with, how cool the community is, and how nice everybody is. I thought that we were going to get judged really hard, yeah. And people were going to start hiding their wives and hiding their daughters from us when we went to this little shindig, but it was the opposite. They were very, very inviting, welcoming, friendly, and I had a positive experience. I hope that it continues to be like that,
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Heck yeah, man. Well, yeah, your week sounded pretty good.
Excellent week.
Hell yeah.
Excellent week.
Hell yeah. So, have you been keeping up on the P. Diddy thing at all?
Oh my God, dude.
Can you believe that?
Can I believe it? Yeah, he's a billionaire. I can believe it. But just with, I can't believe how the feds would drop the ball on this. Why move forward with prosecution on such serious allegations if they don't have an airtight case? More than that, I'm wondering how come the gun charges didn't get brought up.
Yeah.
How come he can have drugs and guns and walk away from this with nothing? Why hit him on that? That's preposterous to me. Somebody who glamorizes and glorifies shooting people, killing people, excessive substance use, whatever. At a certain point, where do you separate the entertainment from this is real life, day-to-day stuff? And then when he's openly mocking the justice system and saying, in his own words, in his own songs, and in his own memoirs, saying that he's up to racketeering operations and he's a gangster and this and that. and then he gets acquitted of all this shit. I'm just, it doesn't promote the idea that women can come forward, and I wouldn't feel safe
Yeah.
if I was a woman and being like, yo, this guy did these horrible things to me, and for him, it's going to be a slap on the wrist.
I think it's not over, in my opinion. I just kind of believe, the federal government kind of have a way of releasing people to kind of go mess up again, or to like put in a little more evidence to really nail them with something. But I think there was a lot of witnesses out there that probably didn't come forward because of fear. I'm wondering what's the ones who did come forward. It's kind of like, oh shit, because
they're done for.
If what they're accusing Diddy of or what he's capable of, and then all of a sudden he's out now.
Well, he's not going to be out. He got acquitted of.
Well, he's not out now, but he will get out if this is all that they're going to give him with.
Sure, eventually he'll get out. They're still hitting him with transporting prostitutes.
Yeah.
And yada yada, pimping and pandering charge, right?
Which can hold up to like 35 years, I think.
No, for him, the max he can do, I think they said, is 20 years, and that's if they run both of his. So both the most that they can give him on the two charges are 10 years apiece.
Mm.
And
that's if they ran them consecutive and not concurrent.
Sure. And I may be wrong on this, but because he took it to trial, I think they have to give him, I think the feds have to give him the 10 years on each one.
I think so too, but I'm not 100%
not sure. And I'm not a lawyer, and I don't claim to be. I just play one on TV.
Huh.
But, just from logical deduction here, it sounds like $1 billion goes a long ways.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything or implying that anybody in particular got paid off, but I just kudos to his lawyers, his team of lawyers that he has. They pulled a miracle out.
Yeah. I think it's a big time miracle. You have videos, you have people speaking up, from even the dead that, past people, like sort of memoirs or cassettes or recordings that were never played or never known about, and just the things that went on there,
Yeah, and there's a lot of misinformation about a lot of that stuff too. I don't think that like Prince's recording was played in the open courtroom. I don't see how that could really hold up as evidence. You can't call a witness who's dead. They could use evidence, but it would have to be hard evidence, and with all the deep fake stuff or digital altering of recordings, there's no way to. It's inadmissible evidence if that even came up. I don't even think that really came up. I think that was like a sensationalized like TikTok reel.
Yeah.
Just to get clickbait. So what I'm saying is it's hard to know what's real and what isn't real. The information that we're getting is all from social media, and I wasn't there in the courtroom to see how it all played out, and I do know that it's a great distraction for other things that are going on. There was this bit that I watched that's really old, but it aged super well. The Whitest Kids You Know, they did this bit where they're like, oh, we're here, like the skit is they're doing a press conference, like a White House press conference, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to address the moon base thing. And he's like, so we do have a moon base, and the main concern is the bears on the moon base. And the press people are like, what? Like, there's a moon base and there's bears up there? Are they lunar bears, or are they bears that got brought there? And
right.
Some of them are lunar bears, but some of them are bears from Mars.
Yeah.
And they're like, bears from Mars? Like, what the crap? And then they show a clip, and all the bears have like AKs and shit. And they're like, what the crap? And they're like, where did they get the weapons? And the space pirates.
Yeah.
Space pirates gave them the weapons. The space cartel is behind it. I'm butchering this, I'm sure. But one of the press guys is like, are we about to invade Iran? Is that what this is? And the dude's like, you got me.
You got me.
You got me. We are about to invade Iran.
I mean, a lot of politics, a lot of media it's just a big magic show.
Yeah, misdirection, classical.
Big time misdirection. All right, we only have a few minutes left for this episode, but I was hearing something that I kind of want to try to maybe do for some of our guests once we start bringing them on.
Yeah.
And basically, it's questions, and they got to provide the answers the best they know. So,
give me an example.
All right, I'll give you the first example. This is 1990s trivia. All right, music.
You're gonna fucking ace this.
Who sang the iconic 90s hit "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
Yo, Nirvana.
Yep. All right. So you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Which artist released the album Jagged Little Pill in 1995?
Alanis Morissette.
Correct. What was the debut single of Britney Spears released in 1998?
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Oh my gosh, right. Which boy band, I know you know this, had a hit with I Want It That Way in 1999?
I want it that way. Tell me why. Isn't that the Backstreet Boys?
It is. Correct. Who released the song My Heart Will Go On from the movie Titanic?
Yo, that was Celine Dion.
That's right. All right. On the movies, which 1994 film features the quote, "Life is like a box of chocolates"?
Yo, that's Forrest Mother effing Gump,
That's
dog.
right. What 1990 film features the character Neo?
Yo, The Matrix.
I can't believe that's that old. Which animated film released in 1994 featured a lion cub named Simba?
Yo, The Lion King.
Yep. Who played the lead role in 1990 film Pretty Woman?
Julia Roberts.
Yep. Which 1997 film became the highest grossing film of the decade?
Titanic.
Oh my gosh, you got it right. Okay, TV shows.
I'm on fire, dude.
What
Let's go.
sitcom features character named Ross, Rachel, Monica, Chandler, Joey, and Phoebe?
I wish I had friends.
That's right. Which TV show featured the character Steve Urkel?
Family Matters.
Right. What animated series features four boys in Colorado town and the phrase,
Yo,
"Oh my
South
God,
Park.
Killed." Yeah. Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
They killed Kenny, you
South Park.
bastards.
You bastards. Which show features a high school principal named Mr. Belding? You got to know this.
The Simpsons?
No, wrong.
What? Mr. Belden? Oh my God. Yeah, that was Zach Morris
Yep.
and Saved by the Bell.
That's right.
Fuck.
All right. What 90s TV show features a talking baby named Tommy Pickles?
Yo, that was Rugrats.
That's right. Technology and gaming. What was the name of the stock market bubble that occurred in the late 1990s, fueled by investment in internet-based companies?
What?
What was the name?
No, I heard the question. What? I don't know.
It's the dot-com bubble. Which gaming console was...
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I like pussy.
Which gaming console was released by Sony in 1994?
It was 94. Sony PlayStation, which altered my life in the best ways possible.
What handheld digital pet became a craze in the late 90s?
Was it called the Gigapet?
Nope.
Or Digimon?
Nope.
Digipet?
The one before that. Tamagotchi.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that. Which search engine was founded in 1998 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin?
Google?
Google.
For real?
Yep.
Wow.
What was the name of the first widely popular web browser released in 1993?
Web browser. Was it America Online?
Nope.
Web browser.
I didn't know this one.
Mozilla Firefox?
Ooh, that was crazy. It's not. It's Mosaic.
Oh,
It's called Mosaic.
oh,
But
I remember Mosaic.
but that's crazy. I thought you almost said it. Okay, pop culture and miscellaneous. What was the name of the stuffed animals created by Ty Inc. or TY Inc. that became a collector's craze?
Beanie Babies.
Yep. Which fashion accessory was known for its slap-on action?
Those wrist things?
What were they called?
Those wrist things?
Slap bracelets.
Really?
Yep.
Very creative.
what we were very creative in the 90s. What was the name of the dance craze associated with the song Macarena?
What do you mean? It was called the Macarena.
That's right.
What?
This is AI, by the way.
Oh,
that
thank
generated
you.
these, yep. Which soda introduced in 1993 by Coca-Cola was marked as a citrus-flavored energy drink? This one I didn't know.
Surge.
Holy shit. Sorry. For any youngsters, this is an adult podcast.
Very adult podcast. We just
I don't
started
know how
by
you just got that.
sniffing stuff at the beginning of
crazy.
this.
What was the name of the virtual pet website launched in 1990 that allowed users to care for digital pets?
Digimon?
No.
Wait, what year?
In 1999.
Animal Crossing.
Nope. Neopets.
Oh, meh.
So out of 25 questions, you got 20 right. That was pretty dang good.
I got 20 and a half right.
That was pretty good. All right. Well, thanks for watching and listening. Until next time.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Love you guys.